It hasn't outsold the Bible, it doesn't feature sparkling vampires, and its purpose is actually to remove any shades of grey. But it just might be the most important book in you and your loved ones' lives, because it's the book that controls how you die. Let's talk about this. The world is more uncertain than ever, and in the back of everyone's mind is the ever-present thought of our own mortality. It's the 13th of April today, and while coronavirus hasn't yet truly hit the Australian public, it's a matter of time before it does. And this makes what we're talking about today even more important. Because now is the time that we need to talk about death, while we're well, while we're able to make rational decisions with time to think through our values and beliefs. In the introduction I talked about a book, and I'm of course referring to the Take Control book from the Australian Office of the Public Advocate, but more specifically today, the section on the Advance Care Directive. This document, once completed and signed by your healthcare provider, is designed to let healthcare providers know what's in your best interest and what you would want to have done should you become unable to let your wishes be known. So why is this important to do? I've worked as an emergency and critical care doctor for years, and I can't even count the number of times that I've had patients in the resuscitation bays unable to advocate their own wishes. And so we ask the family what they would want, but we get answers like, well, I think, or I believe, because it's become a cultural taboo to talk about death. Now let's say someone gets hooked up to a ventilator and gets large needles put into their necks, their groins, and they didn't want that, but their family thinks they did. Well, it's not just an unpleasant experience. When viewed in this light, it could be considered a form of torture. Conversely, what about the same life who's declined these potentially saving interventions when they do want them, because their family doesn't want them? As a doctor, these decisions are incredibly difficult. They're often made spur of the moment, and in some cases, really the emotions of the family are under very difficult pressure and stress driving these decisions, as opposed to the true wishes of the patient. So how do we get around it? Well, there's never been a more important time than now to discuss this, and talking about what you would want to have happen is the first step in making sure your family are aware of your wishes. The Take Control book, available from the Office of the Public Advocate or as a download from their website, and there'll be links in the YouTube notes, is a way of formalising this process and takes into account the core values that are important to you, what are the fundamental things that you would and wouldn't want to live with or without, as well as the specific people that you would like to be involved in making these decisions, and of course, most importantly, what you would and wouldn't want to have happen to you in the event that you can't voice these decisions for yourself. Now, some of you may have already had similar discussions and filled out similar forms during hospital admissions, but those documents are actually voided on each discharge and are then non-binding. An Advance Care Directive is a persisting and binding document that applies regardless of location, so it's significantly preferable over any individual hospital's potentially voided version. Now, you don't have to be sick or old to do one either. I myself have one. In fact, I reckon the best time to do it is actually when you are well, because then you can be reassured that you're not making decisions out of fear or grief. It also means you can have sensible conversations with your family and loved ones about your wishes, as well as find out their own thoughts and fears as well. Because having these conversations now might just save a family from tearing itself apart should different people hold different views about your health. So please, see your GP or healthcare provider, ask for one of these books, download it from the website with the self-help guide, and make a point of filling it out alongside your family. The rest of 2020 is going to be tough, and I get that these are unpleasant things to discuss, but never has there been a more important time. Thanks for joining me today. This channel will be releasing regular health tips and tricks, so if you like this video, hit like and subscribe, click the bell to be notified of our next upload. Let me know in the comments below if you have or haven't done an Advance Care Directive and why. If you have done one, how did it feel talking about this with your family? I'm Dr. Kane Treble. This has been another Long Consult. Catch you next time. Stay safe.